You've lived in different parts of the world. You've seen Europe, you've seen US, you've seen Asia, and you've seen Australia. So look, maybe just big question: where are we, and what are you seeing going on?
Yeah.
And then for Australia, where's our opportunity?
So it certainly feels like there's an awful lot of tail risk out there right now. That's what it does feel like that.
Or was it just hand grenades coming over the top, to get to the table? I'll try to figure that one out.
Yeah, it feels like they're shaking the tree. I think one thing to keep in mind, right, the reason why President Trump is using tariffs, it's one of the few things he can use without congressional approval. So why is he using tariffs to solve fentanyl issues? Because he can get it done, put something out there, looks like activity, and doesn't need to get Congress to approve it.
Yeah, okay, yep.
So it's important. That'll tire at some point.
Yeah.
Right. Having said that, when I look at the US, if the US is successful, there will be more plants and more investment back into that country. Right? And it is an incredibly competitive country. As a side point, when I was my last job in GE, we were looking to relocate the manufacturing of one of our truck wheel assembly plants. And we looked at the world. We ended up building that plant in Dallas, Fort Worth. Low-cost electricity, great labour, high skill, flexible workforce. That was the best place in the world to do it. So the US can be incredibly competitive, is incredibly competitive, number one. So I think you're going to see a lot more investment come back in. The automotive manufacturers are saying they're going to bring more there, the chip manufacturers, right? So all those investments need commodities. So that may play into GE's benefit. When I look at Europe, it certainly seems to me the European Union as a whole only, I could be totally wrong here, it's just my perception, seems to really get some things done when there's a crisis. So they work their way through the GFC and got some things done. They work their way through the energy crisis immediately after the invasion in Ukraine and got some things done. Maybe this will jolt them into helping Germany get out of its economic malaise.
Yep.
It's in, the Germans have got a tough gig. When you look at the DAX, so the stock index there, 60% of the revenues of the DAX come from the US. So,
Do they?
So they've got a very heavy reliance on the United States. So they're going to have to make some tough calls and restructure and become more productive and become more effective. So if that happens, that could help Australia, right? They're going to need to do that, need commodities and some of the things we do well. And then if I look at China, China's going through its Congress right now. They may well decide to completely resolve the property bubble, right? Because you got a lot of people there who bought apartments at 100,000 that are now 10,000, right? And so they may realise they need to take into that and then investment, resolve that. At the moment, they've been sort of pushing the can down the road.
Yep.
They resolve that in total, get the economy going again. They're going to need a lot of what Australia has. So I can paint a scenario, whether that's going to happen or not. On the other side, I can certainly see some things turning to custard too. Like, it's going to get difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also see plenty of opportunity here. And I think having the ability to adapt, be flexible, respond quickly is critical.
Do we have that ability at the moment?
Certainly when you look at the Australian economy, I think our biggest concern is, and it's just been, it's not a recent phenomenon, is generating productivity growth, right? And a series of governments have been unsuccessful in doing that, and then the latest government that's got further away from us, not closer to it, and with various industrial relations and things like that, industrial relations law changes. So the way I look at these things is it's industry's job to lead, right? We've got to get out there and lead en masse.
But are we?
No,
So why not?
no.
There's no swinging after the event happens.
It's hard, right? It's difficult. All the stakeholder management. It is very difficult to do it. And when we went through the financial crisis, I thought we might see a fair bit of change, not only here but around the world. Most countries, took a long while to get through that. When we went through COVID,